Oh, excuse me. Welcome in. New KSR Happy Hour, October 16th edition, brought to you by our friends at Country Boy Brewing. Whoa, I got a weird sound in my ear there. Sorry, you want to hear that? My mic went out. Am I good? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, you're good.
All right, sorry.
Sounds great.
Back to the intro. Country Boy, yeah, located in the heart of Kentucky. Got the Chair Avenue location. Got the one in Georgetown. Got the one out by me with the pickleball. I see Tyler. What do you have there in your hand?
Got a
What do you like to-
halfway home that I was struggling to open, but we're good now. We're good. It's open. I'm ready to roll.
All right, I got my Witness the Citrus. My audio's back in. I was hearing myself in an echo there. Sorry about that intro. Zach, Nick, good to see you.
Good
Howdy.
to see you.
Hey.
I'm drinking water. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't start this early because my Pittsburgh Steelers are playing Luckett's Bengals tonight, and if we start early,
Ooh. Are
yeah.
you all
and it-
watching together?
no, because here's the thing: the Steelers always beat the Bengals, and Luckett cares a lot more about the Bengals than I care about the Steelers. So that would be a bad that would be a bad idea. The other part too, I am worried. I know that the kickoff is coming shortly, so if you aren't watching live, it doesn't really matter. But I might have used my BetMGM Pro Football no sweat token on the Bengals money line because I got
Whoa.
it feels like the spot. I don't know. I got a bad feeling about it. I do like that they're calling it the Icy Hot Bowl because I'm sure that Tom Brady probably played Matt Stafford.
Let's see if Zach can figure this out. He looked really confused.
The icy hot.
Yes, because
Think about it.
I don't keep up with the NFL too much, so do
buddy.
I need to understand? Honestly, Nick, I kind of forgot you were a Steelers fan. So
Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco are both 41, I think. So
okay, the old man bowl.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Brady and somebody else who was pretty old probably had more, but two 41-year-olds as quarterbacks.
Brady and Drew Brees twice.
Okay, yeah.
I work for the NFL. No big deal.
So I had a feeling there was another one that was older, but these guys are an old bag of bones, and they don't have great offensive lines. So it's probably going to be ugly. I don't know. I got a bad feeling about tonight. So look it, suck it. You're going down, but I don't think so.
It's a good old rivalry game. I mean, of course, you'd rather have Burrow, but I got some belief in Flacco. I'm betting the over. I think it's going to be a shootout in the game where everybody's making their icy hot jokes. I think they're going to light it up. Steelers will probably win, but I'm looking for points.
It also could very well be one of those games, Drew, that everybody's making fun of at like 10 o'clock. They're just like, you know those Thursday night games where you're like, really? This is what the AFC North has turned into?
Well, it is a late one for those guys, but we're having fun here. Not a late one, 4 o'clock. If you're watching us on YouTube, we're enjoying a beer. If you're able, please have a Country Boy if you'd like. If you're like at work, maybe don't do that, especially if you're doing something important.
Good sneak one.
But we love our friends at Country Boy.
You're at work right now.
It's true.
But
We
our
got you
work
there.
is this is part of the
I
job,
was-
Nick.
I was thinking more like a school bus driver, people doing real meaningful things out there. Let's stay focused. We're bloggers. We don't even have real jobs. Y'all don't even know what I'm wearing under this desk right now.
That's true.
And now
get back on
everybody
track.
is.
Let's get back on track. We're going to start with basketball because obviously we're going to start with basketball. Excitement has shifted there just a little bit in recent days with football not getting many wins. And then we just had the first taste of Mark Pope's team at Big Blue Madness, Pro Day, Media Day, all of that. And then one of us, Zach, got a little extra Mark Pope earlier this week. You were down there at SEC Media Days. We were stuck watching it from the ESPN app here at home. But Zach, let's hear about your trip.
Do we want to hear about the actual basketball stuff or my Topgolf experience with
Not
that?
at all.
Topgolf.
What did you eat? Was there any traffic problems? KSR stuff.
Yeah, not really any traffic problems actually getting down there. Well, on the way back, we had to go through Nashville at 5 o'clock. So, Tyler, I'm sure you know
Bad idea.
that was. Yeah, that's just how it worked out because Rick Barnes was the last person to go on Wednesday that we really wanted to stay for. So we left after that, and then by the time we were at Nashville, it was 5 o'clock. But yeah, so we got down there kind of at like 7 or something like that on Monday. We went and had a little barbecue action at some local joint. I think it was called Saw's Soul Kitchen or something like that. It was really good. I think Jack got very scared actually, when we were sitting down eating, because as we were enjoying our meals, a person who looked like they might not be in the right state of mind at the moment kind of wandered into the front of the restaurant, and Jack was side-eyeing him, grabbing onto his little fork that he had next to him just in case. But after a minute, the owner shooed him away. Food was awesome, though. So if you're in the area, just bring your fork with you. But the barbecue was awesome. And then we went and played Topgolf. This is now our tradition. Jack and I, we go play Topgolf before this SEC Media Days thing. And I kicked his ass pretty much the entire time. I posted a lot of the receipts on KS Board. Whatever he posted, I'm pretty sure he generated through some sort of AI image generator. So don't buy into any of that stuff. But poor Jack Pilgrim, we played for about 90 minutes, and it took him about until the 75th minute to actually learn how to hit the bottom of the ball instead of the top of it. So it was a lot of fun beating up on Jack Pilgrim and then immediately bragging about it on KS Board. Not a good week for Mr. Jack in terms of getting losing sporting events. He lost his one-on-one match against that 6-year-old or whoever it was at the Big Blue Madness event.
The kid keeps getting younger every time I hear about this. He's going to be a toddler.
I think he was actually 4. Yeah, he was barely walking, I think. He had the binky in his mouth while he was backing down Jack in the post. So that was that's been fun. And but the actual basketball stuff, I mean, you can read about it all on KS Board or KSR. I think we probably talked for 3 hours doing our rapid reactions and podcasts and all that. We had Myron Metcalf join on there. That's the second year in a row we've gotten him to kind of talk about that. But nothing like breaking in terms of the actual basketball stuff, other than like Otega Owe returned to practice on Monday, something that you would already know if you were a KS Board member. So he was back in practice, dunking immediately, making Mark Pope be a little bit nervous about his turf toe issue that he just got over. Still wants to shoot 33s. Jaden Quaintance is, healing faster than any person that's ever healed in the history of the universe in terms of his ACL recovery. The typical stuff that we've been hearing from Mark Pope over the last however many months. But it was really fun. You can tell that Mark was a little bit more comfortable this time in year 2 coming in. But we got to talk to all the other coaches that were there as well. So, if there's anything in particular y'all want to know, I will tell you. But it was a long 2 days.
The Pope stuff gets repetitive with Media Day. We love Pope, but we've all
heard it.
read. What's some of the standout stuff from other coaches? Were you there when Cal did the John Wall dance? I saw that.
Yeah, Jack asked him about that. That was another Jack. But we're going to do a lot of Jack. Jack was embroiled in some controversy for like the last 5 days. The poor guy just can't get himself out of the headlines. As Stevens mentioned there in the chat, one-on-one with Todd Golden. Yeah, he kind of Todd Golden got a little snippy with Jack Pilgrim, to say the least, when he was asking about
intense.
Denzel Aberdeen.
We should have had that clip ready to go. I was like tense at home watching.
It was. I think Todd Golden was a little upset about how the question was asked, which he was doing a back and forth with Jack, which was honestly a little bit inappropriate. Like, didn't need to do that. Like, you could tell that Todd Golden was a little upset about how the whole Denzel thing unfolded, and he basically wanted Jack to say that Denzel left for more money, and Jack didn't really take the bait on that.
Todd could also have said that too.
Todd also took a bunch of money to go from San Francisco to Florida a few years ago. So there's 2 sides to the story here. Oh my gosh, I did the 6-7.
Here we go.
Oh no,
6-7.
I'm sorry. No one.
Everyone
no
drink
one
for that.
In the chat.
The other part too is that that's okay. And Todd, if you're mad about
especially
it,
when you got $22 million to spend.
Yeah, you could have paid more money to keep him. And the other part too, since they didn't pay for Aberdeen, they had enough money lying around to go get Boogie Flan. So why are you being a sensitive Sally, Todd?
And they just won the national championship. Why are you being salty about anything? You won the title. I didn't get that at all.
It's being such a Todd.
Yeah,
that was a very Todd move. That's for sure. So
do you remember Todd the Bod, who used to call into the show?
Oh yeah,
Todd the Bod.
It's been a couple years. That guy used to annoy Matt to Bolivia. Oh man.
Why do the players wear their uniforms to SEC Media Days? The football players don't have their helmets on. They're dressed like they're about to check in.
I did actually think that was a little bit odd because, as I was, going to the bathroom after having my 6th Dr. Pepper of the day, you see LSU players just changing right there. It's kind of odd. So that is kind of weird how they do that. But I guess that's just kind of how the setup. It would probably be weirder actually if they just were in regular clothes. I feel like just kind of sitting on the SEC because we're just accustomed to seeing them in jerseys.
They do that at football.
They wear
normal
suits.
clothes at football.
They get all swagged out. Yeah.
See, this is informal here. We're doing this in a giant ballroom, so we're gonna wear our jerseys while we're there as well.
Pope dressed up more than he did last year, though.
Pope did dress up, and I think I want to say it was Ryan Black who our friend at the Courier Journal called him out for it as well. Calipari and Ryan Black had another classic back and forth. For those that follow the press conferences closely, that was a great moment. Again, Jack Pilgrim got himself in trouble by asking I think it was a Vanderbilt player about Kentucky having the highest paid roster, and that kind of went viral, and he had a whole idea planned out for that, kind of shut that one down pretty quick. But I was all on board with what Jack was doing, by the way. I'm not pooping on him. He's one of my really good friends. So
just turn into the Zach Trash's Jack program. Man.
It's more fun for me to roast him because he knows it's all in good fun. Even if hopefully he's watching in the comments. Tune in, Jack. But anything else, Drew, you want to know about our little excursions?
I've got a question. So obviously it's different because basketball media days is 2 days instead of 4. But like my best memory, the last time I was back in Birmingham was watching. It was Giannis win the NBA Finals with a South Carolina beat reporter who got a little overserved and started just dogging. I believe it might have been Muschamp at the time. It was very funny, very amusing. Did you have any fun interactions with other beat reporters, maybe over a cold one or two?
No, we didn't have too much time to do any of that. I will say after the first day, so Tuesday, after our long, that was because Kentucky was last, so we got there for the first team and stayed the whole day. They gave us a media meal situation where we went up to the top floor of the hotel that it was in.
Ooh.
And they had a whole spread for us. It was prime rib and things like this. Little tiny chicken quesadilla things that were wrapped up into a cone that looked like a mini ice cream cone. Pretty delicious. And we're giving out free booze as well. Not booths, but booze. So that was nice. And we chatted with Ryan Black, CL Brown, Courier Journal guys a little bit. Ben Roberts was there as well from the Lexington Herald Leader. So we kind of fraternized with them a little bit.
KSR newspaper people.
Rubbing elbows.
Can you imagine 10 years ago?
A good bit of On3 folks there as well. Justin Hokanson, Auburn guy, he was there to talk to Stephen Pearl. Stephen Pearl, he was the first one to talk on Wednesday morning, and then about 10 hours later got his ass beat in overtime by Oklahoma State. That was kind of funny, personally, for me to think about how that actually all played out. But yeah, we didn't do too much fraternizing with all the other media folks. It was kind of it's a quick turnaround. Like I said, it's a 2-day, day and a half thing, really. So we were just kind of working and then in and out from there. So,
well, you mentioned Ben Roberts. Really you mentioned Ben Roberts. The Herald Leader is our next topic with the almost said the bomb they dropped. It's not really a bomb, but it was a very informative piece this morning, kind of just explaining everything that's gone on. If you haven't been keeping up with it, with the revenue sharing, NIL, they kind of cleared up rumors on what Kentucky spent. Are we all just, it's $22 million now? We're just accepting that's what it was?
I mean, if they're putting it in print in the Herald Leader, I think that's pretty firm.
I agree.
I mean, I think the highest estimate we had heard, people would throw out the number 20. I think the number 17 million was out there. So, but 22 is a lot. And if you read it, the deals that they bring in throughout the season will just add on to that. So by the end of the season, it could be way more than that, depending on how things go, which it's crazy. A couple more things from that. It was double last year's payroll. And I think they said most teams are expected to spend $10 million on their rosters. Some other teams will pay more. I think St. John's is probably the next closest to Kentucky in terms of that. But it's a lot of money. I don't know. I mean, I've been writing a column on it all afternoon, and I'm just trying to figure out. Obviously, it raises the expectations when other, people are looking at Kentucky this season, because if they don't win it all, it's going to be, well, they had $22 million and they couldn't win it all. But if they do win it all, it's going to be oh, well, of course they did. They had $22 million. But as a Kentucky fan, does it raise your expectations at all? Or is that always the expectation, is to win it all? Does it change your outlook on this season, I guess?
No, because we're Kentucky. And I forgot who was doing the Final Four or it's always national media. I love when national media.
I think it was Jeff Goodman.
Yeah, how you should feel about your team. But history tells us that if you're a good Kentucky basketball coach, you go to a Final Four within 3 years and you win a title within 6. If you're a bad Kentucky basketball coach, you don't last that long. Like, that's just how it is. So I don't think the money makes that big of a difference. And I can't feel bad about it. Do Dodgers fans feel bad about it?
Right.
I
Are
mean,
we supposed to apologize for spending a lot of money? Like, I don't, yeah.
the part that I think, and maybe Zach, this you can take it and run with this, but for me, it's less about the money and more about the volume of players. And normal, like in my mind, you win for whether it's Kentucky 2012, Villanova in 18. It's like a 7-8 man rotation. Pope's trying to get 10 or 12 guys. Like, it feels like a throwback Patino. I'm more interested in how that part of it works versus the actual overall price total. Because here's the thing too, the price is so high is because they had to spend their NIL money before revenue sharing happened. Like, that's why it's so big this year. It's until the more revenue comes in, it's probably going to be less. So like the next 5 years, it's probably going to be less than that until revenues grow and then 22 comes back. So for me, it's more about just like, how do they get everyone involved and how does Pope pull the right levers to make sure that this team is successful, all the mouths get fed, and we don't say the P word and do the platoon thing again.
I think the 22 million number is probably being reported that high, kind of what you said, Nick. Like, Pope brought in 14 guys that can all play. So I bet the average player salary, whatever word you want to use, is probably similar in line with the rest of Power 4 teams. But you just, the volume of players that he brought in is what gets you that number so high. Because I think he probably was a little, I don't know if scared off is the right word, just like worried about how last year unfolded with all the injuries and everything. So he kind of built in a plan that, doesn't prevent that from happening again, but, at least makes it easier if things go south with an injury or two.
Insurance.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, John Calipari, he's actual player insurance. He's the revolutionary behind all that. That's a whole different thing, though, that we could go on a tangent about. So I've already seen a lot of Kentucky fans kind of saying, it's now Final Four or bust. And that, like Nick said, that's kind of always the case. But I'm not going to put any different expectations on the team because of the money. Like, this team can lose 4 games this season, win the SEC championship, and lose in the Elite Eight on a buzzer beater to the team that it goes on to win it all. Like, would that still be a disappointing season? Probably not. Like, that would still be a good season for Kentucky. I think most fans would take that. So the money, I couldn't really care less about what the actual number is. It's not my money. Pope has talked openly this season. Like, he's not really shied away from that either. When the idea of Kentucky having the highest payroll in the country, when that idea has been posed to him in questions about press conferences this season, he hasn't necessarily shot it down. He's joked and been like, I think one back in the summer, they're like, so how much is your joke? How much is the payroll worth? He's like, it's $100 million or something ridiculous. Like, he's kind of leaning into it because he probably knows, like, that's, if people are going to give you all this money, you might as well spend it. So I don't have any issues with all the numbers being reported. Everything doesn't change my expectations, anything like that. I still think this is a team that can definitely go to the Final Four, regardless of what the number is that is being reported. So it is very high, though. That's a lot of money.
I just thought it was kind of weird that I remember it might have been David Sisk who initially put out that $20 million a few months ago, and people at UK got all frazzled about it. Dude, people figure it out. Like, secrets don't stay secrets forever.
The 45% revenue sharing number that was reported however long ago, that was the one that I feel like was definitely the one that was a little bit like inflated too much, because it just didn't make sense for Kentucky to just poo-poo the football team that way at all. It just
and Ben came out and said that that's more like 25 to 30%, which makes more sense.
That's much more understandable.
But I guess my whole thing with this is, with fans saying, well, it's Final Four or bust. Like, I guess we felt the same when Kentucky had a team full of future NBA draft picks and fell early. Yeah. So, I mean, how is this any different? It's not. It's just now you're seeing like a figure behind it, like a number. And I think that people feel like squeamish and like, ugh, because it's just how it is now. It's like you are accepting that players are getting paid and you're seeing a dollar figure behind that. And that makes you uncomfortable because that's what college sports is. And it has been for a long time, but now it's all above the table.
See, that's the part too. Like, did we really think that these guys didn't have money in their pockets?
Right.
Well, and I did one of the things that I really took from there's a lot of things in Ben Roberts' article on the Herald Leader. It's loaded with information. It's
You
good,
should go
good
read
stuff.
it.
But yeah, you should go read it. But one of the things I did find interesting was how he talked about, I think Cal's last team. He kind of the reporting was that his last team at Kentucky was only like $4 million in NIL. That would have been maybe the second season of NIL, or was it the first season? Maybe the second season, I think.
I think second. Yeah.
Second. So I'm just thinking like 4 million, then 2 years later to 20. Like the number, I mean, obviously you have the whole revenue sharing. There was no rules or anything. You had to get all that money in beforehand. But like, I'm just kind of the idea that like Reed Shepherd was probably making less at Kentucky than like maybe even Braden Hawthorne is just kind of incredible to think about. With just 2 years of separation there.
Times have changed quite a bit.
Um,
Well, on the Final Four bus thing, not to be like a smartass, but when people say that and then they don't get to the Final Four, I mean, what are we gonna do? I mean, you can still have a good year. I mean, we all want to go, but how many years we said Final Four and bust? They didn't go to the Final Four, and then we just got excited about the next year. I mean, that's kind of how it works, unless it's just extremely disappointing.
Yeah.
But in most
Well, I think
cases,
that-
Or something.
you're not getting there. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, and that's also why it's more and more important to do something like SEC tournament championship, SEC regular season title. Like those things would help at the end of the year if Kentucky does lose early, if they don't make it to the Final Four. At least you can go back and say, well, we won the SEC tournament. We won the SEC regular season title for the first time since who knows when. So, yeah.
You're ultimately in the sport judged by the tournament, but checking one of those benchmarks is really important too, especially if you know. Because Pope checked all the other ones by beating Duke, beating Louisville, all the top 15 wins or whatever. But those other ones are still out there. He's got to get at least one of those this year.
We really got to beat Louisville this year, because if we don't, they're going to rub that $22 million thing in our face, and it's going to be exhausting.
I just want you all to spend more than one night in Nashville.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
Speak for yourself.
You know what? Roberts needs help selling some bologna sandwiches,
It's true. Recession special. Shout out.
Oh yeah, big fan.
I would rather have 22 million than not have it. That's my thing.
Right. And I'm not going to apologize for Kentucky having it. Like, people who do are just jealous.
We got Florida's head coach bickering with reporters because he doesn't have enough money of his own, so
That's his problem.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
money's not the end all be all, but if you have a lot of it, I mean, it's not
Smoke 'em
the
if you
worst
got 'em.
thing in the world,
Yeah.
Nobody's hating on Jeff Bezos for. I mean, it's a problem, but I'm not gonna be mad that I have more money than Louisville or that I have more money than Florida. So
I do want to
we'll take the money.
Connor kind of brings up an interesting point here. Actually, I'll throw it on the screen. Is maybe are there 2-year deals baked in here with multiple players and those numbers are added in there? Do we think, or I'm not sure if that was actually
I think so.
mentioned or not in
I
the
think they've.
article.
If I were guessing, they front loaded a lot of deals for longer term guys with this head start they had on rev share.
Like, you have to think like Malachi Marino.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
maybe you give Malachi a 3-year deal off the bat and just kind of pay him all that money.
And the other part too, how much of that is included in all of Jasper's, Donato's, Morgan and Morgan?
Morgan.
Yeah, like he had 20 sponsors at his commitment. Like, it's not really UK's
third
money.
bank building where Jasper and who else was it? Jasper and Reese and Trent were all doing their Morgan and Morgan thing. Like, I'm sure they're getting a nice little pretty penny from that,
Yeah.
You can tell they have a little more in the bank account just by their pizza NIL commercials, because we all remember the Reed and Rob where Reed had just mowed in his t-shirt and they were reading off a script and it was shot with an iPhone 3. I just saw maybe Brandon Garrison yesterday has like a 4K Little Caesars commercial. Looks like it should be national TV Super Bowl. So it's clear the budget's got a little better over there from
The
when we were
Pepper
first
50?
figuring out the NIL.
God,
Yeah,
that was such an amazing commercial. Really
Yeah,
was.
that's the best one. Wasn't there another one with like lasers where they did a superhero bit? What was?
I don't even
There
know.
are a few bad
Awkward
ones in the
one.
beginning.
Yeah, they
Was
had
it
Dante
Dante
Allen's-
Allen?
ones.
Dante Allen's TikTok.
Yes. Oh, man.
No, I know he's passionate about them, but a few of those were a little hard to watch.
Is that the orthodontist?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Early NIL was
Read the whole thing with the orthodontist.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe that low budget now, thinking back on those commercials people were putting in.
They
Speaking
walked
in-
so we could run. Go ahead.
Speaking of low, expectations for football, Nick. They play Saturday. They got that going for them. Texas.
Football game.
It's the game we've looked forward to. Well, maybe not look forward to, but when you got the schedule, this was the big dog. Now, as games have been played, it's not as big of a dog with Arch's struggles. But we all know this Texas defense. What they hold Oklahoma to 6 points in the rivalry game last week. I mean, I know we talk about this across all our platforms, and we're all pretty on the same page with not having a lot of hope. But I mean, is there anything they can do against this defense?
Yeah, you can run against them, which is what the one thing Kentucky does well. Florida had about $160 on the ground in that win. Now, part of the reason why, I mean, they get a lead and they're like, we're going to turn around and hand the ball to Jaden Ball a bunch. I get a sense that Kentucky will probably come out and have a quality first drive when they're on script and be able to move it. But this defense is incredible. It's not what you want. When you've got a redshirt freshman in his third SEC start. There's part of me that in that Georgia game, it feels like offensively that Bush got a better sense of what he should call for Cutter to get him more comfortable out there. He completed a career-high 25 passes, and I know a lot of that was when the game was out of reach in the second half, but it's still like there was something there. And so if you had Tennessee this week, you're coming off of a bye night game. That defense stinks. Maybe you'd think you'd have a chance, but I also mentioned that part, that coming off the bye part.
Yeah.
What's the record? Say the record. What is it?
Do the number, Nick.
It's 5-10 against SEC teams, 2-13 against the spread. They stink off of byes, and Kentucky's lost 5 straight SEC home night games. This is when you should be juiced up, winning your biggest games, and they've just stunk in them. Here's the other part. It feels like this Kentucky defense is going to be the antidote to what ails Arch Manning, right? Like, he looked pretty good against Oklahoma,
though.
And now he just goes up and just tears them up.
Wait, are we about to be draft highlight tape again? I thought we outgrew that. We had several years where we had outgrown that. Are we back to being film on draft night?
I mean, this wasn't the case, but the guy for Inside Texas that does the advanced scouting reports.
I love this.
I mean,
that was funny. Brutal, but funny.
Because it was great to just have like a no frills. Like, I don't have to pull any punches. Like, I'm just going to say it how I see it. Stoops is the kind of guy who will punt on the opponent 43 on 4th and 4 and kick a field goal on 4th and goal from the 2-yard line down a touchdown.
Nailed it.
Yeah. There was a lot more on this piece. It's linked on KSR right now.
That one that's because Mark Stoops is an answer to the quarterback situation. Yeah. That one hurt. That one really hurt to read, actually.
Yeah, where he's like, I don't want to explain it. Just because Mark Stoops, that's why they didn't get a running quarterback, because that would have made too much sense. Yeah. So we've got 8 SEC games, and it's the first time that's ever happened because of all the double buys over the first 2 years of this deal. And Kentucky, Texas is clearly the bottom of the totem pole of games you want to watch. I know Auburn and Missouri ended up getting 7:45, but I think it's just because they're on Central Time. So, and Texas won, so they're going to put them on ESPN because they're Texas. But yeah, things aren't great. But hey, they're back to work, so that's the good news.
Always back to work.
They've been back to work, so you can have confidence that the back to work plan is going to back to work their way back to work.
We're going to put our work back to work. Tyler, what do we think the scene will be like? None of us are that optimistic about the football. Texas fans already travel well wherever they're going. Doesn't matter. This is their first Lexington trip. Keeneland, we all know what's going on. I won't make you do like a percentage, but is it going to be – is it really going to be a takeover?
Well, so Mark Stoops said the game was sold out on Monday in his press conference, and we all laughed.
Wednesday too. Yeah.
But I pulled up the Ticketmaster map, and it's not far. I mean, there are a lot of resale tickets available. But if you look at just the tickets that are still for sale, there's not a lot. And that just tells me Texas the whole state of Texas is coming to Lexington for this game. And it's not even really just for the game. Like you said, it's for Keeneland. It's their first time here and yada, yada. I just think it's going to be the first of 2 weekends in a row that stadium could be a lot of orange, and it'll be depressing.
It says a lot about Kentucky that we're having to say, oh, we're actually pretty close to a sellout when Texas is coming to your stadium for the first time in October on a Keeneland weekend. That should have been sold out in April.
Their
whatever they
quarterback
go on
name
sale.
is Manning.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
If you can't sell this out, what are you selling out ever?
Because people will probably be perfectly content just showing up for the tailgate. And that's the reality of where it is, right? Like, I know I've had multiple people reach out who they're like in sales, and this is we're going to host with all of our clients a big tailgate. So there's a lot of folks for the next 2 weekends that have those set up. How many of those clients are actually going to go into the game now? I don't know.
Well, I'll give you an example. So my husband's brother now has season tickets for football and basketball. They just moved up to Lexington. They're very excited about it. They invited him and me, but I would work the game, to go to the Tennessee game next weekend. And I was like, well, I'll go because I can cover the Purdue game. And, but I seriously think the only reason that I'd fully committed is so I could go to my cousin's tailgate before the Tennessee game and enjoy it. What happens after that, I'm not looking forward to, but I've been in that stadium for so many SAG losses to Tennessee, but I will sit through it.
What's one more,
What's one more? I'm numb at this point. I'm numb. I'll take 4 hours in the press box for, 3 hours outside in the sunshine, enjoying the beautiful Lexington October weather. But it is depressing. I don't know.
I visited my parents last night, and my dad has a new addition to his Tennessee room. So I went and sat in there, surrounded by it, and he was like, "I can't believe you're in here." I'm like, "You all can't hurt me right now. I don't feel football pain right now. None of this bothers me being in here right now."
The only part that's going to bother me, Drew, is that when I just have to hear the same stuff, got to take a look at it, got to get back to work. Like, that's going to annoy the piss out of me, because it's going to keep me up at that press box till 2 a.m. And as soon as I get in my car, it's going to start storming. I mean, it's going to be miserable. So that, if I didn't have to go through that sort of rigmarole, because there's a lot of people out there right now, they can just change the channel, right? Like, there'll be plenty of fun games, other games to watch. You don't have to sit through it. So yeah,
I saw people on social media saying they had gotten brown bags, so we might have some brown bag fans out there.
Oh boy,
that's really
and for your head.
I mean, that's what we're going to be watching, right? Is how much do people let Stoops know how much they're mad at him?
They're going to let him know, especially anyone that does the Keeneland doubleheader. They're not going to be very filtered in whatever they were trying to communicate.
It's a long day if you're pulling off the doubleheader. That's going to be a long, hot day.
You know the guy I'm talking about, Drew, who makes his videos where he's overserved and angry?
I love him.
Is he still going to make those, or is he even finished making those?
I hope he makes them, because that's what gets me through these late nights when Kentucky loses. Shout out to the Iceman. Has there been anything new on the Virginia Tech front, Nick Roush, while we're on the subject of being miserable?
No, and, Luck and I detailed it a lot on 11 personnel, but none of these hires are getting made for 6-7 more weeks. It sounds like Billy Napier's going to get fired. Gators Online is now reporting it. But we will get some more contract extensions. And stop me if you've heard this before, but a basketball school has given their football coach an enormous raise because somebody got fired and they're worried he might take their job. An enormous long-term raise. What could go wrong for Kurt Cignetti in Indiana? Absolutely nothing.
Well, they're a football school now, so
never seen that movie before. How could that end?
Yeah, so nothing's going to happen there for a while. The one thing about Virginia Tech is that it could get crazy. For Stoops for that to happen, if you want Stoops to get to Virginia Tech, he'd have to win some more games, and that search would have to get wonky. And there's a good chance it gets wonky for a variety of reasons, but there's a chance that thing gets off the rails. So my question to you all is, what 2 other games besides their FCS opponent would Stoops win to be able to be in good enough graces? Most likely,
I had this on the list of topics. It was a 4-8 scenario, but what unexpected win would keep Stoops here? So
Louisville.
I think Louisville and Tennessee were the 2 I had in your scenario. If you had to pick 2, if you had to pick 1, I think it's Tennessee.
I think it's Vanderbilt and Louisville, just because you can get a 3-game win streak to end the season, and maybe have a little juice coming off that, and that gets you to 5 wins, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's not required to be 6 wins to go to a bowl, right? Like UK can get a pity bowl as a 5 seed or a 5
City Bowl.
Like,
Can we opt out of that?
some sort, the Gasparilla Bowl or something.
Yeah, they give you pity backpacks with pity prizes in them in a pity hotel.
it's
they
a
put you in the
$3
Motel 8
coupon
down the
for
road.
gas station.
I think the Louisville one, not really working against him, but if he were to win that, I think it could be more likely that's the end. Because what better way to walk off?
Yeah.
Well,
Vince's first Louisville game, you get him in Louisville. I mean, that would help keep him, but at the same time, depending how many that would make it, that would be a great way to end it. Maybe you could even give whoever's there, you give him his applause walking off the field, and that's the end. One last give it to the Cards, and Vince on the other side with his pants on inside out.
That's why A&M thing was so perfect. You get the unexpected win. Things were falling apart, but there's your Band-Aid on it, your Flex Seal. Like, hey, look, we beat Louisville again when they were going to the championship game. But Tennessee, their defense is bad, but can Kentucky score more than 2 offensive touchdowns in a game?
No.
Tennessee's second in the country at like nearly 50 points a game. If they have a bad day, we can't even get near that.
Yeah. So Florida's interesting to me because where are they going to be at? And then DJ Lagway is he's healthy and great, or he's injured and sucks. Like, so that one kind of interests me. What's Vandy going to be? They've got a gauntlet of a schedule coming up. They're favored against an SEC team for the first time in 52 games, which was actually against Tennessee in 2018. That's crazy. But I do think people need to brace themselves that there is going to be a surprise somewhere. It's probably going to happen. As down as we are, and what does they say in the NFL? They're pros too. Like, these guys are getting paid too. Something's going to happen one of these weeks. I don't think it's going to be this weekend. But here's the thing, guys. If you all do go to the game, and I was reminded of this because it happened last year. Kentucky scored on the second drive, and the ESPN crews panned to the Kentucky section, and everybody was just horns.
The guy in front of me would not stop.
Get your horns down in while you can. All right, just get them in while you can.
We had a guy in Austin last year where Kentucky fans were like, hey, dude, you got to chill. Like, it's even obnoxious to us at this point. It was just nonstop. Like, we're down 21. Will you please stop yelling horns down? Nick, before we move on your point about they're going to surprise, if they don't surprise Texas or Tennessee, how long can they hold it together not winning games on the Kentucky end? I know they're saying the right things right now, and they probably are in the right headspace. It is only October 16th.
Right.
But if you're 0-5 in the SEC, even if Vandy is one you can get, or Florida, we gotta worry about our own locker room at that point in the year if they haven't done anything yet.
That's true. In my mind, it won't fall apart if Cutter's playing well, because usually the way things fall apart, it's playmakers get mad that they aren't getting the ball, and that sort of is the first crack, and it gets wider. If Cutter's playing well and he's getting guys like the freshman Millers, Cam and DJ involved, if Kendrick Law is still out there making plays, if they're scoring points and losing, then I think it'll be fine. I don't know if that's going to happen this weekend. But the thing that they won't say, but they probably should say, is that Cutter's the future. It's all riding on him. No pressure, right?
Yeah.
No pressure, Cutter Bowley.
You got this, man. No
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah.
Great offensive machine you're a part of over there.
No.
Been churning long before you. All right. Let's get to the topic I've been waiting for. It's been 40 minutes. I've already skipped a few topics because we were running long.
Mhm.
We got to get to this lunch you had, Nick Roush.
Yes, yes.
Nick or Steven, let's roll
Prison
the picture. Nick, I'm going to assume you were visiting one of your children at school.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
good. Let's confirm that right away. Now, just walk us through what we're looking at here.
So first things first, I made a mistake. I should have spun it the other way around so you would get a better look at what they called an Italian dipper. That's that breadstick up top. In my day, we called it a Bosco stick, where it's a breadstick that's stuffed with mozzarella cheese. Absolutely outstanding piece of culinary confection.
Okay. I'm glad you cleared that up. I'm going to butt in real quick because and I'm going to move to the bottom left. I wasn't sure if this was ketchup or cocktail sauce.
Yeah.
I was like, what is he? Are they bringing out shrimp? But now that you're telling me this is some kind of stuffed cheese concoction, I'm guessing this is a marinara or a tomato-based dip.
Correct. A little marinara sauce, red sauce, as we call it in the Roush house.
Okay, I was really confused by that one. And then we're just no protein. Is this a vegan school that your kid goes to?
Cheese is technically
The
a protein.
is the Bosco stick.
Okay. But we're
The cake, though, that was a
it's cake.
yeah, and that was a parents' day treat that they normally wouldn't get.
Ooh,
And
special.
I elected to get the pound cake because, in my mind, less sugar, and we also brought baby, so we had to. We didn't want to sugar her up too much. I knew she would be eating quite a bit off my plate, so I went with the lighter option instead of the brownie, which my son got the brownie, and that was the first thing he ate. Yeah.
I know schools aren't rolling in money in Louisville right now, but is this like our friend Matt G here in the comments, Steven or whoever has access? Some language might. Yeah, it's censored. I kind of feel the same way as Matt G here. Is this what we're doing daily for our youth?
I mean, you got to remember
that Bosco sticks a day back in high school.
Okay,
that was like
I'm just asking.
Multiple times a week. No, it was disgusting. I am agreeing with Matt G.
So Steven has pictures of school lunches from France, Italy, and Spain. I thought we could look at just to compare.
I think the thing you have to remember too is they are children and they only eat certain things.
Okay.
Like my kid is not eating.
Children.
Yeah. Okay. No. Nobody's eating. We have a big age gap here. Nick, just so we're all on the same plane here. How old are the kids that are eating the meal that you ate today?
Kindergarten. It's a 5-year-old.
Yeah. Big difference.
Yes.
I don't think they need this salmon over arugula.
Looks good though.
Yes, serve that to a 6-year-old.
Prime rib looks like.
Prime rib.
It's like kiwi.
So Tyler, when you were roaming the halls back in Danville, what got you excited at lunch? Pizza day, pizza and corn.
Oh, it had to be rectangular pizza day with the part of the tray that had the corn in it. And I don't know why those two things were always paired together, but they were. But that rectangular pizza, something about it. And we had this thread going on KS4 talking about it. Zach, I kind of agree with you. I think sausage was the only topping. I was trying to remember.
That's all they made.
Or it was maybe those little like diced pepperonis where they were like little cubes.
Yeah.
See, that's pizza pepperonis.
Which is basically sausage.
I don't know if it was sausage or pepperoni. It was just like a red chunk of
red dots
of meat.
I think they don't want us to know what it was. Maybe it was pork. Could have been anything.
Back in grade school, we were big on the I think it's called walking tacos now, but we just called it taco in a bag, where they would just take a bunch of like Fritos and chop off the top, throw a bunch of
walking tacos,
chili.
Like that stuff was one of my favorite meals. I do remember in grade school, like every other Friday, they'd be like, "All right, we're catering in from Arby's or Subway." Yeah,
wow.
So I would get treated to like a 6-inch ham and cheese, or a quarter-pound roast beef.
It's like the Kroger Field press box meal.
Yeah.
I think Arby's is actually getting sued right now because of how poorly they market their ugly-looking beef. I'm an Arby's guy though. Actually, shout out to them.
You're thinking Arby's? We didn't get fast food back at West Broadway Elementary.
No. Maybe once a month it was like Papa John's or something.
I didn't get that.
You all were lucky. We didn't get that. The fanciest thing we had was like a closet they turned into like a snack bar where you could buy like chips or I don't know, like Hostess donuts or something. But it was never like they would bring food in from other places.
At Dunbar, we had Papa John's every single day, but they would bring it in it had to bring it in at 9 a.m. because by the time he got there, like it was hardened cardboard essentially. And it actually is the reason to this day that I don't eat Papa John's, because it turned me off forever back then, because there was a stretch,
even their
like
cheese
probably a
sticks.
semester. It was the only pizza. That's all we got. You got.
See,
pepperonis,
Papa John's
you got a
cheese
pepperoni
sticks
option.
are their redeeming thing to me. That's the only thing that they have that I like, are those cheese sticks.
I just can't get over working with all these rich kids that get fast food and brand names at their school
People
lunches.
independent
Yeah,
would
my
never.
public school experience in Lexington.
I still remember getting the we had lunch tickets. Now everything's automated. Ours were a lunch ticket, and I'm the oldest of 4, so I could use lunch tickets early in the career. But then once others started getting into school, that wasn't a thing. But it was $5 for a week of lunch, $1.25 a ticket. Or no, that's bad math.
Yeah,
That's really bad math.
real bad math.
Woo!
Wow,
Hey,
I'm
I'm
not
not a
a
math
writer.
guy. But it was $5 for it was $1 a day. All right,
I remember I would have my dollar and my quarter that my mom would give me before I went to school. Sound like I'm like old walking up hills both ways.
Yeah.
But because I wasn't a problem child, but I'd cut quarters here and there. I would usually try to game the system. My favorite move was in the big slot, the tray you just had where the entree goes.
Yep.
That's where my mashed potatoes would go. However, there would be about 8 to 10 chicken nuggets under my mashed potatoes, and then the allotted 4 in one of the things. And they're like, "Oh, Drew really likes these, instant mashed potatoes that cost us nothing. Don't charge me extra." But then when I get to my table, just a nugget party all around me, and they're already covered in mashed potatoes, kind of like a KFC,
Perfect.
one of those bowls. That's
bit.
the best school lunch. Stealing from
Country
public
fried
schools.
steak.
That's what I was doing.
Country fried steak was my favorite at Dunbar. They would do that like once or twice a month. Not
See,
that I would eat it today, but it was good then.
It's one of those that when you hear country fried steak from a public school lunch, it's probably horrible, like in your mind, but I bet
the
it
exact
tastes
same thing they
delicious.
serve at Ramsey's. It's from the same food distributor or something like that.
Did y'all
I
have
just love
corn
the back-
nuggets?
Corn
No.
nuggets?
Corn nuggets?
Yeah, those are terrible.
I was gonna say.
I don't think anyone in the school ate them. That's probably why they didn't get much
It was
farther
like
than us.
Bucky nuggets, beaver nuggets.
Going
Would be much better.
chicken patty was my favorite grade school lunch. When I got to high school and they also offered spicy chicken patty,
Clucks
Watch
Deluxe
out.
is what they called them.
I mean,
Those were good.
that feels
That was
like
an everyday
you
thing you could get.
you stepped up in life, right? This is what getting to the next level is all about. It's not just driving cars and all that stuff. No, you get spicy chicken patties with your lunch. And you know what? I'll get 2. Because I'm a big boy now.
I had to eat through corn nuggets so you youngins could eventually get 2 spicy chicken patties. That was never an option for this old man.
Now kids have like shredded iceberg lettuce on their trays. Like, what in the world? They wouldn't even attempt a salad back then. No way.
Never got salad options back in the day.
You all probably had cell phones in your pockets too, you animals. I like getting off topic. Let's do more of our KS board questions.
Oh wait, I had there was a
sorry.
really great comment from Noah Jack in the comments who said he thinks Kentucky will get number 9 based on the fact that it will be the 9-year anniversary since the last time Kentucky won in Indianapolis. And I looked it up and I confirmed it. So the Final Four obviously is in Indy this year. The last time Kentucky won in Indianapolis, does anybody remember who they played?
9 years
Wichita
ago,
State.
2016.
They beat Wichita State in
Fighting
March 2017 at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in the second round of the NCAA tournament.
Big
So
day for
another
Drew.
number
Yeah, big-
I
nine.
remember that game very well.
Yeah.
Big day for me. I remember that one very well.
Yeah.
Captain Crash 21, I see your comment. Drew's less of a problem child and more of a problem adult. Thank you for watching us. And Holly, no, I don't know what TF is a corn nugget, but they served them to us.
Well, what did it taste like?
Like literally, like if you were eating
Cardboard?
chicken, the fried part of a nugget, but inside was corn. It's like they couldn't afford the chicken. It's like we're just
one kernel of corn. Or
no,
multiple
probably
kernels?
like a chicken nugget size, but instead of chicken in the middle, probably 10, 12 corn kernels, maybe fewer.
Sounds
Have you ever
so
seen
gross.
the mac and cheese bites? I would imagine it'd be like that, except it's
Okay.
it's corn,
corn.
instead of good mac and cheese. It's just
Yeah, that was
some sort of cream corn. Now,
some farmer in Iowa created that
Now, if you told me though that it was like a hush puppy that's stuffed with corn, then you're cooking with grease now. But I'm sure it wasn't the finest dining at West Broadway Elementary.
This is Hopkins County school system in about 1992. We weren't really pressing on in the culinary world there. Any other school lunch takeaways before we get to the board questions? I saw some fun ones in there.
I just want to say Matt G is going off about school lunches. This is infinitely better than what we were 30 years ago. They had no shame. They would pump us full of sugar and send us on our day. This is progress, okay? Still got a long way to go, but this is progress. We're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, just big old bowls of cocktail sauce next to our fruit salad.
I'm really glad you clarified that was marinara, because I seriously thought it was just ketchup. And then I thought Drew was going to go off for a whole other reason, but I guess children are allowed to have ketchup in Drew's world. So.
Can have ketchup.
I still remember being in the cafeteria for breakfast day, because you can't mess up breakfast.
Yeah.
When that was the first time I saw somebody put ketchup on their eggs, and that still grosses me out. Just
no.
I don't want to live in that society.
No.
What's our first question, Steven? Oh, our graphics have improved. I can read these. If you had to choose one of these for the rest of your life, which would it be? A, no more traffic while you're driving. B, never have to wait in line for anything. C, never experience an airline delay. Or D, never lose to Jack Pilgrim at anything.
Poor Jack.
We know what Zach's choosing.
Well, I don't lose to him, so. That's not a problem.
It's already a given.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to go with traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic doesn't really bother me, but one of them was like airport delays. How often does that happen? Like, I only fly a couple times a year. So that's a minor inconvenience overall. The Jack thing, we don't have a whole lot of contests. What was the other one again?
No lines.
No lines.
I'm
I'm a pretty patient person. If you're telling me I could right now get across Lexington at 4:55 without traffic, I will sign up for that.
But could you argue that never having to wait in line for anything could include traffic?
Ooh.
See, you can combine one and two. It wouldn't really work for airline delay, but I think it would work for the top two.
TSA
I don't
line.
like waiting in line. Yeah, TSA line. I would choose B, just not waiting in line, because that drives me crazy.
I'm a very impatient driver, so that would be my thing.
Having the ability to cut a line in an amusement park though would rock. That's
you just gotta pay for it. You can do it right
Fast
now.
Pass. Yeah.
Pay an extra $100.
What's the last big thing you waited in line for?
Ooh. The fact that I can't think of anything is sad.
And maybe you shouldn't pick that one. Can't even remember the last time you've been in line.
I try to avoid
the grocery store. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like whenever you choose the wrong line at the grocery store, it's the worst feeling in the world.
My wife, that's her skill, is choosing the wrong line. It's her special skill. We waited in line to get into a bar in Athens, but it was only for. It was we walked up and saw it, I was like, "Oh no, we can't be doing this. We're too old for that." But it was a quick line. It was mostly just to check IDs. It was moving.
Well, that reminds me of one I've had recently. It was before a football game in the day. Can't think of what it would have been. It was right after my buddy Manny passed away, because I went to Tin Roof to buy a round for his table. They have game days. I was just in and out, but I couldn't get in. The line was down the block, and I got in the back. Everyone in front of me was like a 21-year-old blonde. There wasn't a dude, and then there's 6'2" me just in the back, right there on the road. There's traffic at the red light. I have my head down, like, God, please, no one recognize me. And I had to sit through that. That wasn't fun. Other than that, though,
when I was driving by.
Yes, the guy covering his face,
Yeah.
trying to do a nice gesture, and here I am sitting amongst a bunch of sorority girls that look like children, and there I am just trying to get in with all the college kids. Fun times. What's next, Steven? The panel's favorite fall food or drinks. This person almost said their name. That's a lot of numbers. I just had a wonderful beer the other night called a Thundertaker. It's an Imperial Stout by Revolution Brewing out of Chicago. So what are all of our favorite foods and drinks?
I mean, Halfway Home by Country Boy Brewing. No.
Yeah.
I also, in the fall, I like spiced apple cider. Like if you make apple cider and then like spike it with bourbon or something like that, it's really, really good. That's one of my favorite fall drinks, but I rarely like make it because it's, actually a lot harder than just popping open a can of beer, but that takes it for me.
I know it's feeling more like fall, but it's not really fall until I have my first bowl of chili, and I need more nip in the air.
Oh, yeah. It's too hot.
Yeah. It's still a little too hot. I need a little bit more nip in the air. I would say chili is my preferred fall food or drink. And the other thing I would say is I usually just start drinking more bourbon when it gets colder out. Like it's just, cozy on up and start sipping,
To your point about the chili, my wife makes the best chili ever. I'm not just saying that because I have to. Like, I cook in our house, but when it comes time to make chili, I'm like, all right, you get up. You're the chili pro. But a few weeks ago, I asked her, I was like, I got to have your chili. I'm craving it. And she made it. And even though it was good, the weather wasn't right. We jumped in too early. I think we did it. What was our first road game? I think we did the South Carolina game that day. You were down there. I was having a nice day at home watching football, but it was like 88 outside in Lexington. Too early. I broke the seal on the chili too soon this year.
My husband won't make chili until it's like 45 degrees outside. He's like very strict about that. It has to be cold for chili. So even on these days when it's like 60 degrees and beautiful, no chili in the Thompson household. We're waiting until it's cold, which I kind of don't like that because I really like chili, but come on, cold weather. I really want some chili.
Just all soups in general are like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a corn chowder that can be pretty good, or the like a butternut squash soup. Soups are just, when it starts getting colder, a good soup goes a long way.
Soup.
We're soup almost every meal here in fall.
What's your cat's
a lot of
favorite
people
meal?
loving white chili.
Yeah, shout out Captain Crash. I was mad at you earlier. Not mad at you, but you were being mean to me. Shout out to you for calling out white chili. I make a little white chili. It's pretty good. It's no regular chili, but you got to mix it up every once in a while. It's got a little chicken in it.
Like a white bean chicken chili. Yeah, a lot when I was growing up. That was some good stuff there. Chicken pot pie is the one we're waiting on, though.
Oh,
Jack, you seem like a pumpkin spice latte guy. You over there waiting in line for at the student center, Starbucks?
Me?
Yeah, you
said
pumpkin
Jack.
spice.
I was like, did
Jack,
Jack?
so-
I say Jack. Sorry, I meant Zach. I didn't mean to do that.
I also
like
think
W.
your
Smith.
mic might have come unplugged there, Drew. By the way, it sounds like it's from the computer, unless that's just me being crazy. And in that case, I'm sorry. But hard apple cider, big on that. Actually, I like some warm hard apple cider whenever the weather gets a little bit cold. So that'll be something we'll go for a little bit more.
Ooh, Matt G brings up jambalaya. Love a good jambalaya in the cold.
I'm still mad that Gumbo Yaya moved across town. They're so far from me. I miss them. I miss them so much.
This is where it sucks but we've kind of gotten to the point at our house now where we almost have to make two meals, one of food that our kids will eat and one of food that we will eat, because they love rice and beans, but if you do jambalaya right, it's got to have some flavor, some spices, and that just freaks them out. So you kind of got to make one and then shift it over to the side and then put all of the goods in there. But that's a good call, Matt G. Good call.
What's up next, Steven?
Or is that? Nope.
How many beers should I drink this weekend to stomach that farce of a football game? Well, South and Josh, thank you for chiming in. We don't condone overdoing it. Drink responsibly. And if you are partaking, get an Uber. Enjoy your country, boys, but do it right. So how many? That is up to you. But, we all understand the circumstances we're in as Kentucky football fans. And this will probably be a weekend where we will have a few extra.
Yeah.
Whatever that means in your life.
I think 6 or 7, probably.
Before,
Fewer than against Tennessee, because Tennessee just hits differently. That kind of pain, that kind of loss just hits a little different. But maybe we're all wrong and we're drinking because we're going to celebrate, Maybe.
Yeah,
This is drinking coffee with Nick Roush, so I won't be drinking.
Yeah.
Press box coffee.
Oh, if I was at home, it would be switched to bourbon at halftime. I mean, yeah, that's the beer.
The game thread would get so good.
I haven't done a bourbon at home, and I can't even remember when. I'm not a big home drinker, but Nick, you've mentioned it twice, and now you got my mouth watering. What's your home drinker? We all have favorites that are hard to get, and all that.
Yeah.
Something you can go out and get at any moment.
Old Forester. It's just the Old Forester and ginger ale is the smell of my family gatherings. Like it's just for my whole entire life. So yeah, it's good. You can shoot it if you want to. You can put it on the rocks, or you can do the ginger ale. I even I had never made old fashions until recently, and during one of the bye weeks, my cousin asked me to bartend party for his 70th big birthday bash. I made a couple old fashions, and people said, "Oh, pretty good." So I feel like I'm, going in the right direction there.
Give us your recipe.
Yeah, I mean it's the normal recipe, but I think
Let's see if you have a little flair to it or anything.
No, and sometimes I will, if I'm really feeling fancy, I'll make my own simple syrup for it. But usually it's just some water, the sugar on top. It's all about having good bitters and good cherries for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the store-bought stuff, I know people do it, and it's good to do on the fly. Not nearly as good as just get a little water, a little sugar, a little bitters.
Yeah.
A little pro tip there.
Yeah.
We got another one, Steven? In the spirit of spooky season, what is your favorite horror movie? That's from Billard93. Shout out Billard93. Appreciate that. I love scary movies. I haven't watched any so far in October. Got a couple weeks left. I'll probably get into it soon. Anybody got one? Like at Christmas time, I watch Christmas Vacation. I'm not exaggerating, every day. Like I'll just be working at my computer and it will be background noise. I'm not necessarily dialed in, but it is constantly on. Do you all have like a Halloween version of something like that?
I'm not super into like horror movies or scary movies, but I was hanging out with some friends recently and someone brought up the movie Scream. Classic movie. Two of my friends had never seen it. I'm like, they're a little older than me, but I feel like that was such a pop culture moment that even if you're not into scary movies, even if you're not like a big Halloween person, you would have seen Scream. Like it was that big. But so Scream would probably be it for me.
There was a big slasher phase with that, and I know what you did last summer.
Yeah.
We haven't got many of those in a long time.
I hadn't seen Scream either until a year ago when my girlfriend made me watch it. I'm not a big horror movie fan at all, but that one's not necessarily like, it's not like a scary movie. That's more of like a kind of thriller-esque type thing.
Which is probably why I liked it.
Yeah, like I'm not I don't want to be scared for fun. That's just not really my vibe. So that was more of like an exciting type thriller. So I was into that. But we do some of the traditional like more kiddie Halloween type movies. I'm big into those. Those are fun to watch when you get closer to the day.
Oh, the Hotel Transylvania movies are great. They're awesome.
Halloween Town growing up, those are my favorites.
I do like on Halloween night having the AMC always plays the slashers, and those are fine. The one that I discovered last year, it was I hadn't seen it, and I knew, but I had forgotten Sleepy Hollow and Sweeney Todd, the Johnny Depp.
Oh, Johnny Depp.
Dude, those movies rock. They're great. They're great movies. Like both of them.
Was Tim Burton involved with those?
Yeah.
Both of them. Anything he does is like just great for Halloween. Like,
I can't do Nightmare Before Christmas though. It's the animation.
I get
just,
that.
Yeah.
Like he's involved with Wednesday, the Addams Family TV show on Netflix, and that's really good. Like I wasn't a huge Addams Family fan, but I like it. Kind of sets the mood for the season.
Anybody like Ernest Scared Stupid?
How could you not?
Never one of the hits. Anybody else? No Ernest Scared Stupid people. Little Miak. Come on, somebody in the comments.
I remember
Miak if you've seen Ernest Scared Stupid.
There was a Christmas one. There was a basketball one. There was
Ernest Goes to Jail. Ernest Goes to Camp.
One of the Ernest movies was filmed in my neighborhood.
The Air Bud of Halloween movies.
He's from Lexington, Zach. He's buried in Lexington Cemetery. His name's Jim Varney, and Ernest was the man.
I've heard that name.
A lot of VHS tapes in the 90s. Jim Varney was just pumping them out.
And I owned every single one of them.
More than
a lot were terrible, but not Ernest Scared Stupid.
The basketball one, the name of the team was Clean Sweep because he was a janitor that just got on the basketball team. That one was, I mean, even as a kid, I was like, really? This is what we're doing?
I get known for
even
watching
Nick
Forrest
Roush
Gump
is judging that.
Yeah.
I'm known for watching Forrest Gump too many times, but there was a long stretch in my life where Ernest Goes to Camp wasn't far behind Forrest Gump in amount of views in my house. See, Matt G. Me and Matt G are on the same page. He knows. He knows over here with the. I don't know, have the access to put him up here where you can see it, but I see you, Matt G. We got any more? I'm slowly realizing I'm just becoming the old man. Like, wow, I used to watch this. Is there anything going on within UK administration as it relates to high-end donors and their pressure, if any, on UK administrators to move on from Stoops? From Capital Cat.
Serious question.
Nick Rouse, take it away.
I mean, nothing worth that's new. I mean, they'll find the money in the banana stand if they have to, but Joe Kraft ain't turning on Stoops, and Joe Kraft ain't one to pay people to not work. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, they'll find the money in the banana stand if they need to, but the cake is still being baked. And here's the other part too. Everybody knew before the season that they weren't winning these games in October. So
yeah,
nothing's really, the status quo is remaining the same until they get to that Florida game. It's kind of where we're at.
I mean, that is fair. Like, I look back at my season predictions, and it's kind of going like I thought. It just feels way worse.
Yeah.
So, and it's not going to get better for a while.
Well,
You just wanted them to steal one of South Carolina or Ole Miss, just so that we don't have to keep saying it's been 1,000 days since they've beaten an SEC team or had a pulse against an SEC. You know, all of the bad numbers. But no, we just got to sit and wallow in it. So.
It's right in line with my prediction. I thought this was what their record be, and the record isn't upsetting to me. The reason I'm frustrated with something I was already expecting is just how it looks, because, I mean, the end of half stuff, we don't have to list it over and over. I said this on the show today, but we've been laughed at twice on national television by the studio crew. There's losing on a last-second field goal, and there's losing because it looks like your operation is dysfunctional, and that's what's more disappointing at the moment. I expected these losses. We're getting back on football. How'd that happen?
Yeah.
On the original question, there are some tricks they can do with the LLC that they probably couldn't have done before, getting loans, things like that, where if they had to, it would help them find the money. I mean, nothing crazy, but the LLC will make it a little easier to get the money slightly. And I'm with Nick. They'll find it. There'll be a way, especially if it's 3 wins, because then you got to think about the money you won't make next year.
Yes, exactly.
Was this enough? We got more? There's another one back there, Steven? It's been an hour 7. That's a long one. You want to call it quits?
We can call it quits.
Let's call it quits. It's been a fun happy hour. I'm going to go make a little dinner. Steak sandwiches tonight. What are y'all doing tonight? Got any big plans? Yeah.
To be determined.
So, yeah, to be determined as well.
My kids are probably going crazy.
Yeah, Roush has got more cocktail sauce and
More
fruit cocktail and salad. Well, Roush, good luck to your Steelers tonight. I'm going to be watching.
They need it. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase over receiving yards.
I love that. I'm on the over points. I think the Bengals
Flacco's going to air it out.
They may not win, but I think we're in for a good game. And then I fully expect it to be 10-7 since I said that, and all the old man jokes let them fly. But Tyler, thank you. Zach, thank you. Nick, thank you. Jack Pilgrim, sorry that Zach spent the first 10 minutes roasting you. Thank you to everyone in the comments, especially Matt G and Captain Crash 21. And thank you, Country Boy. There's another KSR Happy Hour. We'll be back next Thursday. Go Cats.